morning to you. Welcome to a Monday edition of Dan's At Home Update. This is, in fact, my home, my abode, and this is my studio. And we've completed our countdown. It is time for us to roll forward this morning into the 7th day of December. Hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got the most out of it. Again, so glad that you're up with us this morning. You know, at some point you finally realize that life is really about just experiencing and enjoying another day. And you just kind of have to shove some of the stuff out of the way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like moving furniture around in your house. I know what it's like. It's like, remember Dick Van Dyke? How every day he tripped over the ottoman every time they did the opening of the show. Remember? Da-na, da-da-na, da-da. And then he would come in and he would trip. That's what life is sometimes. You just have to take whatever that ottoman is in your life and just kind of push it out of the way so that you don't trip over it and that you just move forward. You know, you go into the day and you just enjoy your day and appreciate it for what it is, which is a gift, right? The gift of another day. Let me tell you, I don't know if you're a big fan, and we're going to talk about this a little bit some. In fact, we can talk about it now to just kind of to get into the morning. But I don't know about you, but as I have aged, there are certain musicians that I perhaps didn't like when I was in my youth, who I like now. And I don't know what the difference was or maybe why it is that you appreciate. I can make another analogy. It's kind of like foods. You know, when you were a kid, somebody said, hey, you know, here's some salad. You would kind of turn up your nose or whatever the veggie might have been. But today you love it. It's the same thing with music. Let me just show you. This is kind of an interesting story I saw. USA Today. Bob Dylan. His entire catalog, more than 600 songs acquired by Universal Music. Can you imagine how much they paid for that? I mean, because a lot of folks know that, you know, certain Bob Dylan songs, but they may not know how many songs he wrote. You know, The Times They Are Changing, Blowing in the Wind, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Tangled Up in Blue, and the list just goes on. But the unpublished songs and their lyrics, apparently 495,000. But the whole package is, as you can imagine, probably hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, I'm just curious. Are you a Bob Dylan fan? I am. When I was young and Bob Dylan was popular, I just didn't, I don't know. It was almost like a character. You know, there we go. We would all do that, right? We would all walk around doing the Bob Dylan thing. I wasn't a big fan. But now, for some reason, I watch him. I watch the music. I listen to what he's... Because I think you go beyond the idea of just the tune. You know what I'm saying? And suddenly, you're looking for meat and potatoes. So you're listening to lyrics, and you're like, oh, there's something there. And I bring this up because this weekend, I also happened to watch... I like Bruce Springsteen. I've always kind of liked Bruce Springsteen's music, but there is a great, and I don't know what you would call it, but a great piece on Apple Plus, and it's called A Letter to You. And it's really interesting, and I think that it will make you think, because essentially Bruce Springsteen says, you know, all my life, for more than 50 years now, I've been having this relationship with the people that I perform for my audience. And he's talking about how, you know, his writing has changed, his music has changed. And let's be honest, you know, with age, sometimes singing becomes a challenge. There are some guys who were great when they were in their heyday, and then they get in, you know, later years and they can't sing. Springsteen kind of surprises you. When you watch him, you think, oh, I don't know if he's got it anymore. But then when they, you know, start the recording session, you realize he's still got it. Well, hopefully we still have it this morning too. And part of, I guess, what I was coming to is Springsteen talks about, you know, how as he's gotten older, he appreciates the fact that, you know, every day really is a gift, and to look around and breathe in the air and enjoy the time and enjoy the people that you're with. So that is my wish for you this Monday, because Mondays, let's face it, they're not Fridays, right? On Friday, we're different people on Monday than we are on Friday. So I'm going to encourage you today to go out and take that attitude of a Friday and live this Monday as a Friday if you can. All right, so now I'm going to step down off of my my preaching soapbox here that I was standing on, and we'll move on to other things. I don't really want to because so much of what we see around us today is so depressing. But let's jump to what's going on this morning, because that's what we do here on the update. We check headlines, but we don't dwell on them because we have other things to talk about too. But here's KFDM.com, and as you can see, if you can't tell by everything all over this page, this is Toy Feast week, and we are counting on you. Please do not wait until Friday to take part in this year's Toy Feast. And if you're not familiar, I know it's a strange name, Toy Feast, but it comes from nearly 30 years when we started doing this on the morning show. We said, let's have a toy drive. No, let's have a food drive. And then we said, let's have a toy and food drive, and we'll call it Toy Feast. So over the course of the last 29 years, on the 1st or 2nd December, Friday of December, this is what we do. We spend about 4 or 5 hours that day raising money, and this year we're raising it for folks who are under the banner of the United Way, but specifically Women and Children's Shelter, Nutrition and Services, which is Meals on Wheels, Southeast Texas Food Bank, and the Salvation Army of Port Arthur, Beaumont, and Orange. Every single dollar you donate, we promise, stays right here in Southeast Texas. That was our whole purpose. We don't want money leaving the area. We don't want money leaving the area. We want money to stay here to benefit the people who are struggling here in Southeast Texas. And this is the best way to do it. You don't have to show up on Friday. We'd love to see you. We'd love for you to come by and drop off some toys or some food or make a cash donation. But look at all the different, texting is so easy, and you can text to donate. Dana Melanson and I were talking this morning. We set a goal. I said, Dana, I think we go high. We're going to set a goal. We set a goal of $50,000. That's how much we would like to raise this year. But you know what? We won't raise a dollar without you. We just won't. Obviously, we don't expect you, to make up the full $50,000, but we'd love for you to give what you can, because you know what? Every nonprofit I've talked to this year, not a single one of them has said that they were not struggling. But the struggle is not just because people are, maybe having some hard times and can't give up the money to donate, but it's also because they're having more people than ever before asking for a donation. You want to see a good example of that? I'll take you back to the page. If you'll go and look today, and it'll be posted. If it's not posted yet, it will be posted later this morning. That piece that Jillian Fertig did this morning, that's a great explainer for what it is that the Southeast Texas Food Bank does and why it's important that you donate. I don't care if it's $10, $50, $100, whatever you can give. Remember, it comes right back to the people here in Southeast Texas. So please take the time. All right. So now that you passed all that on the KFDM website, we can talk about. We had a Southeast Texas couple killed in a motorcycle crash. Very sad. Car turned in front of the motorcyclist. They were not able to avoid the car. Man and woman died in that. We also had a couple other wrecks that happened as well, fatal wrecks. I think one of the stories that's interesting is that the city of Port Arthur is going to be offering free COVID-19 testing. So if you're interested, you can go and be tested, and all you have to have is your identification that shows that you are, in fact, a resident of Port Arthur. That's all they're going to ask you for. You don't have to make a reservation. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to show up there, and that'll take care of it. The other thing to talk about that I thought was kind of interesting was the Southeast Texans are apparently turning to real trees this year. As we're into the pandemic, I guess it's just kind of a way to relive your childhood to some degree. But people are going for real trees. Do want to take a second, too, to tell you, you can jump in, comment this morning if you want to. It's just like any other Facebook post. You just put your name in, tell us where you're at, what you're doing, what's going on, what's on your mind this morning. And we can see you. There's Cynthia. Good morning to you. Mary Wofford is up this morning. Jessica Lemire, good morning to you. Esther is up this morning. Holloman, I am going to have a great day. I am. I think I can. Stormy, good morning to you. Thanks for starting your day with us. Hi, Diane. Cynthia is up this morning. She says, a clean desk. Well, relatively clean. It's Monday. You know how that works. By Friday, my desk will not be clean. Good morning, Dan. Hope you had a great weekend. I did. I had a very restful weekend. Hope you did too. Hi, Diana. Good to see you this morning. Al is up with us as well. Cynthia, loving the beard. Well, thanks. I think it's pretty much come in. It's grayer in places that it was not before. That's for sure. Hi, Tammy. Good morning to you. Hi, Dixie. You said, a good word, I needed to hear that this morning. And every once in a while, don't we need to be encouraged? Don't we need to be someone to tell us? I do. I need to be encouraged. I need you to encourage me. Jeannie Foster says she's a Bob Dylan fan. Hi, Denise. Carlene, always good to see you up with us this morning as well. Brenda Davis, I'm a Springsteen fan. Well, Brenda, you want to see this, I'm telling you. Apple Plus, it's cheap. It's not very expensive, but it's definitely worth having just to see that piece of material. Hey, April, hope you're good this morning. Lisa says, Dan, while I like Dylan, I'm chomping at the bit to see ZZ Top. LOL. I've seen ZZ Top a long time ago, before they had graybeards. Jason said, I turned off the news. I will donate to Toy Feast. Well, I hope that you can find your way back. Well, I know sometimes the news is a little hard to take. Yes, my daughter wants to donate, but she's in Dallas. Not a problem, Tammy. You know, that text to donate number works no matter where you are. Also this morning, Penny says, what about men raising their kids alone? Where can a man go for help? Well, that's a good question. I think that there are a number of different agencies, Penny, that I would think of. I would think of maybe going to, especially some of the church organizations that are out there. They run pantries, and if they don't run pantries, they're the kind of people that can help, that can point you in the right direction. I would also think of some other place simply because they do that. They help a lot of people, and they know where to look. They know the doors to open, right? Mike Cruz says, we are all grayer, brother. Yes, we are, Mike. We are all, and as I always joke, I always say, Mike, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. At this point in life, just glad to be any color hair as far as that goes. All right, let me hit you with a couple of more items, and then we'll get out of here and let you get on with your day. Always like to show you the latest COVID-19 numbers from the state of Texas. The most important ones, to my way of thinking, would be hospitalizations. And we can see we are right up there, pretty doggone close to where we were back in July when we maxed out in the state of Texas. When we look locally, we can find out we are Region R on the map, Region R. We can look and see how many ICU beds or beds. We have 260 total beds available in our area. We have 7 available ICU beds. So that should give you an idea of where we are. Also want to bring to your attention, Texas food banks may be less equipped to help hungry households in the new year. Story from the Texas Tribune says more than 2.5 million households in Texas did not have enough food all the time to eat in November. Again, I know I'm going to harp on this because I just believe this is one of the most important mission that we have this week is to raise this money to help our neighbors. And through Toy Feast, one of our direct contributions goes to the Southeast Texas Food Bank, where they can feed, 3 meals for every dollar? They can squeeze 3 meals out of every single dollar. They need your help. Please reach out. Do the best you can. You'll watch the morning show. You'll know all about it. All right. And then finally, I guess I used what was going to be my final mention of the day, which was, again, to tell you about the Bob Dylan. But again, it's kind of cool that he sold this stuff, so you might want to go look at that. And then all kinds of interesting things are going to be going on here in Southeast Texas this week. And by the way, if you live in Port Arthur or you know somebody that lives in Port Arthur, please remind them that their city council race, there is a runoff. And the reason I mention that is because only 217 people voted in 3 days last week for these runoffs. It'd be a shame if just a minority of people actually take an interest in it, because a lot of people voted the first time around. And there you go. You want to follow us, you can do it a variety of ways. You can, of course, stay right here on the KFDM Facebook page. You can also check out what's going on Twitter, Morning TV Dan, or on YouTube, You can subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button, the bell, and you'll know whenever we're doing an update on the YouTube page. Also, do me a favor, if you will, this morning, if you don't mind, if you would just drop me a like, a thumbs up is always appreciated here, so that we can kind of get an idea of how many folks are around, how many folks are still watching. And of course, if you have a comment, a question, a thought, something you would like us to discuss. And in the future, we're going to move forward and start doing some interviews in the morning. We've got it set up where we can talk to different people. So somebody you'd like to hear us talk to, maybe somebody of interest that you would like to see some conversation with, right? All you got to do is drop us a note and let us know. All right, I'm going to go out. I've got things to do. I know you do too. Be safe doing them. And again, as we say all the time, what is your risk tolerance? Don't put yourself in a place that makes you uncomfortable. If you're one of those people who says, I don't want to be in a room with a bunch of people if they're not wearing masks, then don't put yourself there, right? And if you're one of those people that you don't have that kind of risk aversion, and you're like, I'm not wearing a mask, I don't need to wear a mask, all we would ask is that you be considerate of other people. If you know somebody that is squeamish, somebody that's uncomfortable, why would we make them any more uncomfortable, right? Just a little consideration, thought, kindness. Be kind to each other as you go out about your day. Really, it's not painful at all to do it. We've just maybe forgotten how. All right, I am out of here. I will see you back here bright and early tomorrow. Go out and enjoy this beautiful day and make the most of it. Just be safe. And again, we'll talk bright and early tomorrow morning.